Welcome back. My name's Chris Lukianenko, Head of Content Marketing here at LiveTiles, and joining me here on the couch is Simon Tyrell, the Chief Strategic Officer for LiveTiles. Now, joining us on the line is Sonya Morayu, Head of Partnerships for Linius Technologies. Hi, Sonya.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Now, we've invited Sonya on today because hot on the heels of our announcement about our smart video solution here at LiveTiles, we thought we'd like to give you a bit more information about the software that is underpinning that solution. So, Sonya, tell us a little bit more about this software that we're using.
Hey guys, Linius Technologies have developed a patented technology that transforms video to be virtual and can make the video infinitely searchable because we make video data. And once it becomes data, it becomes malleable. It makes it, we can transform, manipulate, and make it infinitely searchable. Similar to how you would do a Google search, but we're searching inside of a video file.
Now, here at LiveTiles, we're using this software to help us with our smart video solution. But Sonya, this has been used in some other applications in the past, which are pretty exciting, aren't they?
They are. In fact, Linius is, we cut our teeth in the sports sector. And what that means is once we can transform that video of your favorite team, you effectively have the opportunity to have your favorite player, your favorite team, your favorite coach, your favorite play your way. No longer do you allow the broadcaster to simply tell you what your favorite piece of personalization is or what the favorite clip is. You choose your favorite clip.
That sounds really exciting, really exciting. I believe you use it in education as well.
Yes, we are starting to work in the education sector. In fact, LiveTiles is that we're breaking new ground with Simon and team in the education sector.
Fantastic. Simon, do you want to tell us a little bit about how this whole partnership came around?
Yeah, so we got introduced to Linius pre-COVID, back when the world was normal, and it was actually through Microsoft. They suggested that we were two like-minded organisations and that Linius had something pretty powerful and pretty unique that we should look at. So we got chatting and we started over time to see that there was this interesting use case. And remember, this is pre-COVID, so we're sort of looking at various things that could be applied. And just getting back to that sports information or use case that Sonya shared, the thing that got me, the moment I understood it, was when one of the team at Linius showed me some stuff they were doing with the English Premier League and also with the National Basketball League here in Australia. And the fact that I could sit there and say, hey, show me Liverpool, Saha, I don't know why I was looking at Liverpool, but anyway, and show me every goal, every pass, every foul. And in real time, I was getting a personalised highlights reel. And in the NBL, I could ask for a player 3-point shot from the baseline, and bang, I'd get it. It just, being a big sports nut, and particularly seeing what organisations like KO have been trying to do with sort of personalised feeds of magic moments type stuff, this went way beyond that. And I was like, wow, okay. And then so we started to look at, okay, well, how does this apply to the enterprise? And then COVID hit. And then immediately we started to think, hang on, what's changed? And it was the prevalence and volume of recorded video happening because of meetings.
Yep.
And that sort of led to our initial discussion was, okay, how do we make meetings suck less? Which we all know they suck. And it's a good reason not to love work. But this was sort of compounded by the fact you're on so many, which I think you appreciated, Chris, during COVID. All of them were being recorded. We noticed that people stopped doing agendas, stopped taking notes, and people started becoming sort of dependent on things like the transcription side of things, which are a bit hit and miss. And if you weren't in that meeting, or if you needed to go back to it, you missed the context of body language, and being able to get that feel for a conversation that you get when you're sitting in a room like you and I are now. So we thought, that's really interesting. And so that was our sort of first use case we went down, which is all around the meetings. And then, as Sonya alluded to, we then said, well, where's another area that this has really been disrupted? And education is a key part, particularly in the tertiary and upper levels, where students are now relying on recorded lectures, recorded tutorials, recorded content to do the learning. And if you think about some of the courses out there, particularly in vocational learning, where it's normally hands-on by demonstration, see it, learn it type models, these poor students are just sort of left out in the cold. And so we've been working with one of Australia's biggest universities and vocational educators, as Sonya said, and really looking at how we change that student experience. And that's really been the two areas that we've really evolved really quickly. Why would LiveTiles do this? Because what Linius have is just world first. No one else is doing this. And it allows us to bring it into our Quantum platform, which is our AI capabilities, and offer something embedded into multiple different experiences across the organization that we really hope can sort of unlock video, which to date has been, once recorded, is basically just big dumb blobs of information.
So we're talking about these big dumb blobs of information, and those big dumb blobs are out there for us to search on. When we've got a meeting and we've had a meeting with someone, what are we able to search on?
Yeah, I guess Sonya can jump in as well, but basically what the Linius platform is doing is you point it, and this can be Teams, it can be Zoom, it can be WebEx. For the first time ever, you can actually search across all of those recordings from one place, which is, how many of us have gone from a Zoom meeting to a WebEx to a Teams all in the space of a few hours. So it goes and finds those when you point it to it, does it all securely, and then uses data that it can wrap around it. So it uses those transcripts if it exists. It can use data about who was involved in the meeting, who set up the meeting, what was the meeting called, the date of the meeting, etc. And then what the platform does quite amazingly is it unpacks those video files to frame by frame data and then indexes it. So it's not moving this data. It's not making a copy of these videos. It's not rendering a new video, for example. It's using all of the time codes and all of that rich metadata to basically say, hey, Chris, you asked me to find when Simon was speaking about something awesome, which, let's face it, is every meeting you've ever attended with me. You will get a real-time playback reel of when I've been doing that at a frame-by-frame level. Nice. And so when you see this in action, you can go from, 12 hours of recorded content down to a 10-minute playback highlights reel. And then when you get to a bit, you go, oh, that's the thing I missed, or that's the thing I need to refer back to. You can just click a button and bang.
Sonya, can I ask you, I'm going on some leave over the Christmas holidays, and there's a couple of projects that are going to continue on while I'm on leave here. With this technology, would I be able to come back after leave, know that I'm going to be talking about project ABC and project XYZ, and get, say, 2 video streams fed back to me on my first day of leave when I return, and catch up on everything I've missed over that fortnight?
Yeah. It's actually the ultimate catch-up tool. So as Simon was saying, we all think we have to now attend every meeting. You can now prioritize the meetings you have to attend. And then basically from the recordings, go back and catch up. So absolutely. So when you get back from leave, you can effectively search across the meetings that you didn't attend, and just snippets and the highlights of the things that you're interested in. It'll reassemble those for you and give it back to you as a highlights reel, almost like your holiday reel.
I'm putting my my ex-university student hat on here, or with the vocational education.
It wouldn't have helped you, Chris.
I'm studying for exams, coming up, and I need to go back through all of the lectures to give myself like an exams cheat sheet type of approach to my study. Will that work?
That will work as well. Interestingly, depending on the AI engines that we use, so not only what was seen, said, heard, sentiment, we can pick up on objects. We can pick up what was on screen. So we can bring to life from a student's perspective, every element of the things that you need to know in snippets, and reassemble those key elements of the subject and have that played back to you.
That is amazing.
And one of the even cooler things the team has is elevating that to them being able to share that. So imagine that student, little Chris, working there, stressed out about the exam, needing to catch up because he was too busy at the uni bar for the majority of the year. That ability for you, Chris, to find, say, that 10, 15-minute highlights reel, right? Key moments that cover the key topics. You can then share that with your friends who are also studying, or your classmates, and allow them to then consume that. And once again, this isn't rendering it outside of that original source file, so it's creating something new that's completely disconnected. It's just saying, hey, here are the key moments, and at any time you can go back into the full recording and watch, before or after, and do what you do. The difference here is you're getting those key moments from all of the content that is available that meets your search criteria.
I'm also thinking you could probably have a bit of fun with this and do some office bingo, with certain phrases that are dropped, certain key phrases in meetings.
Yeah, or one of Linius's, one of the team in Linius, Vamsy's favourite demo that he opens with every time is he searches. We've got this hooked into our recorded meetings, right? And one of the things he searches for is every time someone in LiveTiles says, "Am I on mute?" And he had
hear me?
over 16,500 clips.
Oh, wow.
So,
that is fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're talking about helping out businesses with meetings. We're talking about the education sector. We've seen how it helps in sports. Where else can this technology go?
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of work in forensic surveillance around the world. So industries that are dependent on video, and obviously surveillance and security is one. Then there is also, we've done some really clever work with recruitment agencies where we need to be face-to-face in a recruitment process. So for the larger recruiters, they're using AI and the nuances of asking the same question to multiple people. Then when they are going back over how people responded and reacted in these in the interview process, they can see whether people are confident, calm, relaxed, nervous, unsure. They look at that from a continuity perspective across all of the applicants. They put together a package of all of the people that they had interviewed and provide that as a package back to the prospective employer for their key candidates. It's just because the video is now data, it really comes down to your imagination and how you want to integrate this into your business workflows. That's why LiveTiles have been amazing with some of the ideas that they've ideated, how they want to use the technology. Just brilliant.
Yeah, and I guess just picking up on that, if you think about that recruitment example, right? It's an area where, during COVID, now into the future, so all interviews have been virtual, right? Mm. Who's going to go back and watch all of those recordings?
Yeah.
So, you're relying on the old, we'll still take notes and against criteria, but you are missing the fact that you now have that ability to replay the body language, and as we know, as humans, we will pick up on a lot more cues in communication through body language than we interpret by writing down. So there's an opportunity there to get a much better reflection of the candidate. And I'd argue that applies to all sorts of areas of an organisation. So we've talked about meetings, right? Yep. We're knowing that when Chris said in the notes he'd take on that task, if Chris is like this, not looking happy, then perhaps we can expect Chris to fail to meet the deliverable, right? How many times does that happen?
Never,
right? Never. Someone says, "Oh, no, there's no issue in the project," and is there shaking their head, right? In clearly not giving you the full story. So those little nuances that happen, but then apply that to training, learning and development content, any corporate communications, the recorded town halls that a CEO might do. It's all data, it's all rich information that help engage as an employee. But unfortunately in the video world, it's just locked away. And the replay rates of these things are pretty low. And as we know, that's scrubbed through, right?
Yeah.
Look for those moments. So the fact we can combine that, and the beautiful thing for us is that we can sort of mold those into different experiences that, we can do meetings today, tomorrow we can do education, the next day we can look at corporate communications, then we can look at health and safety. So many options available. And the Linius platform is just under the hood, just making a lot happen. It's pretty cool stuff when you sort of really think about video's role in the modern workplace.
Yeah, I mean, everything we're doing on video,
yep.
These days is just and just terabytes and terabytes of video data just to scroll through that just gets forgotten.
Yep.
Feels like the old days back when you used to take photos onto paper and they just get put in an album and you forget about them.
Yep.
Now Absolutely. You're bringing them back to life. Sonya, any other applications that you're seeing in the future with what you're working on?
Yeah, I think one thing is for corporate communications where we were talking about, I learnt recently that there are roles now in enterprise, which is employee experience directors, employee engagement directors. So being able to deliver a hyper-personalised channel for when I come into work, I open the intranet or open the browser, I'm delivered a personal package for me of the CEO's update I'm a specialist. I've given updates for me from Microsoft about my role. They know that I like mountain biking and yoga. So I'm given a personalized package for me for the first 5 minutes of my every day. And every employee, regardless how many, could be over 100,000 employees, receive their own personalized package.
It feels like it'd have a great application maybe in HR onboarding for new staff too.
Absolute. So all of the levels of engagement in L&D, as Simon touched on, is another fantastic use case.
Yeah, and that's my dream, right? That sort of start your week with this personalized package, delivered through the channel that you're active in at the time that's not a distraction but a benefit. I mean, that's why we think this is such a key part of what we're aiming for with LiveTiles, right? Is otherwise we're just going to deliver you text content and notifications without all that rich video that's out there in most organisations. So
sounds great. So you mentioned this is part of the LiveTiles Quantum service product. When's it available?
Oh, it's available now. So
Fantastic.
it's part of our Quantum product, which means you can get the LiveTiles Smart video platform, and that can cover the meetings example. It can cover the learning development education piece as well, or to be honest, any of the use cases we spoke about. How it appears within what we do, it can appear in our LiveTiles Everywhere capabilities, our intranet. We're working on how we can light this up in our new LiveTiles Vibe as well, and also LiveTiles Reach. So, a key part of this, I guess, to understand from our perspective is this is just a powerful service in our platform that experts, as I say, no one else in the world that I've come across is doing this, right? And so you get access to this world-first technology by experts in their field, and LiveTiles' role in this is to light it up and get it to your employees where they need it and where they can consume it and get value out of it. And I think it's one of those things, we talk about love your work, and, there'll be a lot of talk through this festival and has been about engagement and communications, right? If video isn't part of that and part of your thinking, I think you're missing a key trick. But unfortunately, just sending people that 12 hours of recorded content, probably not going to engage them, right? So thinking through this about how we can use this type of platform and then deliver it to our workforce, whether they're store workers in a frontline workforce on their mobile device, whether it's, workers in head office, whether it's students, there's a real big opportunity to be really innovative in how you can access this now. So I'm really excited by what it means.
Awesome. Sonya, I have got one task for you to take away with you, please. Can you please analyse the video meeting files for here at LiveTiles for every single time that Simon has made fun out of me in a meeting? I think you might be there for a little while.
Gold, though. Comedy gold, Chris.
He thinks so. Sonya and Simon, thank you so much for joining me today to tell us a bit more about this technology. It sounds pretty awesome, and certainly, as you say, might be part of people loving their work in the future.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sonya.
Bye.